What is up, Brown Girl Child? This your girl Drea. So if you did not check out the Careers Project video on knowing your worth, you guys need to check that out and go follow the Careers Project on Instagram and also too on Facebook. It is a project that myself and one of my besties, Shamika Moore, has started during the pandemic to help not just women, but everyone understand what their worth is, whether that's in your personal or professional life, because sometimes, we can get beat down by life and forget what our true worth is. So just giving you all a little summary of what we talked about yesterday and just adding my little, flavor to it. We talked about just knowing your worth, and knowing your worth go hand in hand with having a boundary and saying no. So many times we say yes to other people and we're saying no to ourselves. And sometimes we just, want to be people pleasers and we're jumping to say yes. And when we really mean no, right? And that caused burnout. That caused, I call it the trauma drama story. But we really don't know our worth when we're continuously saying yes to things such as low salary, right? Salary that you can barely pay your bills. When you're saying yes to relationships that's toxic, it's toxic. And you're like, oh, I love it here. It's toxic. No, you don't. Unless you're just a whole toxic person and you coexist in toxicity, right? That's just not for you. You're constantly singing, yes to holding on to the weight of the world. So that's holding on to the weight of your body, holding on to the weight of the emotional attachment that you have to unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy habits, and also to unhealthy people. Holding on to old spirituality, religious beliefs that ain't no longer fit into your life. Sometimes you gotta go back to basics, right? And really read the Bible, the Quran, or whatever fits your spirituality needs at this point in your life. And also to holding on to, we don't go to therapy. That's not for Black people. That's for other people, right? This is not knowing your worth. And sometimes, majority of the time, we have to go talk to a professional and really unpack things that we have learned along the way. Whether it was surrounding ourselves with people we had no business surrounding ourselves with, taking jobs in which we was getting bullied, abused on after jobs because we was desperate because we needed a job, right? And I understand we live in a society in which it's expensive. And sometimes we get desperate, we get impatient, we don't listen to the Most High, and we're like, oh, it's on my time and it's in my plan. But we also forget that the Creator, the Most High, whoever you call your higher being, they're actually in control of all of this. And I think a lot of times we lie to ourselves saying, oh, I have faith, I believe in something outside myself, and our action shows something differently. Hence why we find ourselves in lowballing situations when it comes to relationships, friendships, taking on family issues in which all the people are grown, they can take on their own issues, and just also finding ourselves in just situations in which we're like, man, I'm unlovable, or, I'm going to die alone. So you hear how that sound? That's just all negativity. There's this show that I watch on Hulu called How to Die Alone. And the character Mel, she was in Insecure. I just watched one season of Insecure, and she's also the writer of the show. And just to give you all a brief summary of, not knowing your worth, watch that show. So Mel is this Black girl. She's beautiful, work at the airport, dead-end job. And so, yeah, she got a little bit of weight to her. She's not making the money that she should be making. She has pretty much family dynamic issues as far as with not, having a close relationship with her mom favoring her brother, and it's obviously over her, and don't want to tell you all the show. She was dating this guy, which was her supervisor. He's going on to get married to someone else. This other guy's trying to shoot his shot at her, and she's just focused on the unavailable guy, right? So many times we find ourselves in a situation like Mel, when you don't know your worth. You're so busy trying to go after things that are dead end, that's unavailable to you. And you have all these amazing things that's available to you over here. But we're afraid. We're afraid of someone saying, well, who do you think you are wanting more? Who do you think you are for shedding the weight of the world? Who do you think you are by placing boundaries? Because people do not like boundaries. They're like, I'm used to you being available. I'm used to you saying yes, yes, yes. And how dare you now placing boundaries? I'm not feeling that, right? So boundaries and self-worth go hand in hand. So that's why I have my hands out. And you have to decide what type of life you want to live, what type of job, business you want, versus just accepting breadcrumbs. And yesterday I also did a Dear Sis, date differently, date someone outside your type. I had to learn that myself when I went through my divorce. I was like, I can't keep dating the same person who doesn't mirror my current, situation. My situation is different. I don't have to glow up and to grow up, and I'm still growing up, and I'm still growing up, right? And so those type of people I'm not attracted to anymore. And so I have to date differently. I have to really adjust, my taste, my type, and also to not go after the same person with a different name, with the same personality, because that was causing the same results of insanity of, getting my heart broken, or, things are not going accordingly, right? So that's when you have to really mature, you have to really grow, and you really have to take accountability for, hey, I want better. People gonna be mad at you. That's not your business, right? Because that's when we have to evolve, surround ourselves with people who are doing better and who want better and who want to be healthier, happier. There's nothing wrong with being happy. There's nothing wrong with being healthier holistically. So that's your emotional health. That's your physical health, going to the gym, walking, shedding the weight. That's decluttering your house, right? That's really just smiling more, pouring back into yourself, allowing people to pour into you. There's nothing wrong with those things. But staying stagnant is something wrong with that. Continuously accepting breadcrumbs is something wrong with that. Being love bombed is something wrong with that, right? Because at the end of the day, you're just going to only get discarded, devalued, and disrespected. And we don't got time for that, right? So my challenge to you all is to really take time this weekend and moving forward on a daily basis and see where your life is at right now. Do you like how your life is going? So that's the question mark. So journal, do something about that. Also, too, if the answer is no, what are you willing to change? What are you willing to transform? What are you willing to discard out your life? So you may have to start with your mind. You may have to start fighting back that inner critic. You may have to shed being an overachiever. I know I had to. And being a type A personality. You may have to get rid of, people who don't hold you accountability. And they're like, yeah, you can go out there and be free and breathe for the streets, and knowing that's not within self to be that type of person, right? Because those are the type of people they are. If you're going to grow, you're going to have to shed a lot of layers, and you're going to really have to unpack, and you're going to have to unlearn some things that you're going to be like, ooh, this was weighing me down. So that's your assignment, is to figure out, do you like the life that you're living now? I mean, go deep. How you look, how you dress, who you dating, what you eating, are you drinking enough water, your skincare routine, do you have one, your home environment, is it clean enough? Go in depth and peel back those layers. Do you like those things? Are you just comfortable in the dysfunction? or somewhere down the line you lost your worth and you need to figure that out, and you need to unpack that with a coach, with a therapist, with whoever, right? And it takes courage to say, no, I don't like the life that I'm living. No, I don't like what I see in the mirror. No, I don't like who I'm surrounding myself with, or, who I'm dating, right? So it takes courage to let those things go. And when you let them go, you're going to feel lighter. So have that boundary. Say no when you need to say no. Start saying yes to yourself a little bit more. Also, too, no is a period. It's not a comma. Don't let anyone persuade you of your no, and then you eventually be saying, okay, yes. Stand firm in your no. Stand on business and no. And that's the video. So hopefully you all like the video. Share a comment of what you're willing to shed, and to also, too, to glow up and grow up and add on to your worth. Much love and light to you all. Peace.